Hello everybody and welcome to episode 3 of Meet a CC. Today we are honoured to have Yuzral with us, so good afternoon Yuzral, how are you sir?
Good afternoon, I am very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your day to come and join us, by the way.
You're
We
welcome.
really do
It's
appreciate it.
not like any of us are short at the moment, let's be honest here.
Very true indeed. So, we've kind of covered question 1, in-game name Yuzral. Do you have any other gamer tags that you're known by?
No, it's pretty much Yuzral on any game I play. It started out in Star Trek Online with a random name generator of all things.
Wow.
And because it's so rare, pretty much any game I sign into or I play, hey, it's free. Great, brand identity sorted.
Nice and useful there. So, how long have you been playing World of WarShips for?
Don't ask for an exact date; it'll just make us all feel old. Open beta. I did not experience the joy or horror that was Kitakami, sadly. So my membership of the Church of the Torpedo Goddess came late. But yeah, I just as the beta went open, played through that, and then just rolled on from there.
I was second draft closed alpha, so hashtag bring back Kitakami, please, any day. It was wonderful.
Hashtag torpedo goddess. The thing is, you'd probably be less toxic in the current meta simply because A, we've now got the team killing penalties and mechanisms, and B, there are far more torpedo counters. Hydro is more prevalent. The player base in general is more educated. I think the main reason Minekaze sank so many battleships in that first year of happy time was because most battleship drivers really didn't know what their A&D keys were for.
Yep.
That argument does not seem to be convincing wargaming for some reason.
No. It's a work in progress. That argument, I think, is the sound we would use for this.
Yeah.
So, what other games outside of WarShips can people find you on?
Mostly, if I'm not sailing boats, then it's going to be Destiny 2 is my main time waster at the moment. I'll dive into Elder Scrolls Online every so often to see if they've got new content going. So you'll probably see me there because they've got another expansion coming up. And of course, hey, if something random catches my eye, for example, the new XCOM that's being advertised, I'll probably give that a look as well. So yeah, if you see Yuzral around, it's probably me.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's bothered to impersonate me yet.
So that's the growing sign that we're all waiting for. Have you been have you been cloned?
Yeah, there are a few people in the streams who, if I start playing unexpectedly competently, will wonder if there has been a switch with an evil twin. But yeah, but no. Mostly, if I'm not warshipping, it'll be Destiny 2 at the moment.
Quite a few people seem to like Destiny 2. What drew you to it?
Good question, actually. It's, for those of you who haven't heard of it, it's a Bungie-made looter shooter. So, do you remember Halo?
Yes.
The core feel of the gunplay is very like Halo. And when they're at their best, they do a really good job of making you feel like a complete and total badass in that game. They've also built themselves a very good universe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deep stuff. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of, because of the way they present it, a lot of it is from other characters' perspectives. And there are a few characters. Well, there is one character in there who can be pretty much summed up as the god of lies. So
it's strong.
When you get lore from her perspective, it tends to be okay. That's weird. Also, some of their trailers have been absolutely top notch. The live action stuff in particular, but let's say core gameplay looks good. They're having a bit of they split with Activision last year.
Yeah.
And there's some speculation that perhaps they're having a bit of a fallow patch. But if they stick to their schedule again, there should be an expansion pack this autumn. So we'll see if they've just held back their resources for that.
Yeah. Well, it's something. I mean, because obviously, if I remember correctly, it's free to play as well, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, core game is free to play. There are expansions that they will charge you for. The latest two, Forsaken and Shadowkeep, but the base game and the first two expansions are free. The majority of the core gameplay is completely free. Most of the microtransactions are entirely cosmetic. And their subscription equivalent, the season pass, works out as about £3.50, £4 a month, and gets you some fairly nice accelerated progress. So, all things told, yeah, it's a nice, enjoyable way to unwind mostly and spend a couple of hours just blasting stuff.
Oh, sounds. I keep hearing a lot about it, so it's something maybe one day I'll have a look at it. We'll have to see. I'm not exactly. My ideas of first-person shooter looms are kind of DayZ, where you're on a private server. Bob's has got its own nuke one.
It is completely different to DayZ. If you ever want to dip your toe in, hit me up and we'll dive in together.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'll have a think and have a look.
No worries.
So, next question we've got for you is: how do you describe your content?
Okay. The stats say I'm allegedly competent at World of Warships, but honestly, bumbling Brit blundering around blasting boats is a pretty good sum up. Generally, if I'm streaming, I'll do a couple of hours. I'll hit random battles if I'm grinding something. So at the moment, that'll be things like the Rune and the Trench Cruisers still.
Yep.
Or if there's something interesting on the test servers, then I'll dive on there. So the submarines, of course, have been my attention of late, of course. So that's going to date this video pretty hard. And yeah, generally it's that. And sometimes, well, I do use the channel point mechanism, and that does allow the viewers to select what ship I play next. I keep getting told this is a horrible idea, and I will regret it. But so far, all it's been good for is comedy.
Yeah, I've purposely set mine so that I have ships that people can request that I don't mind playing. I have aircraft carriers, and then I have the Italian cruisers. The Italian cruisers are at such a point level that only the most diehard, we want you to suffer people can get access to them. So
okay, I'm pretty sure several CCs have taken different approaches. That I think it's Flambus pioneered the Wheel of Misfortune.
I can't remember. It might have been
one of them. It started with F. I'm pretty sure it's Flambus, and I'm pretty sure Ashley charges. If you want to make her play a boat, and I can kind of see where she's coming from, especially given that, well, we all have our personal hell boats, don't we?
Anything that's got an Italian flag on it for me at the minute.
I didn't mind them. I always found the low and mid tier Italians to be a bit bleh. But once you got the Brindisi and the Venezia, particularly once you got that tier 9 rudder shift module, you have a near heavy stroke super cruiser that dances like a destroyer. I found that to be a ton of fun in testing.
I am very, unfortunately, strongly with both size 13s in that I do not like these ships. I don't get on with them at all. Don't know why. They just don't suit me at all.
For what it's worth, I'm the same with Russian cruisers. Everyone says Russian cruiser, strong cruiser. The only thing strong about my Russian cruisers is the explosions that tend to dismantle them.
Well, that is one of those things. So, okay, next question we've got for everyone is: what quote would be in your school yearbook? So, what would be the quote under Yuzral's picture? What would it say? What would you have written about yourself?
There wouldn't be a quote. I loathed school. Well, I tolerated. I got through it. I got through my exams, and then I shook the dust of the place off my feet, and I have never went back. Never want to go back. I'm at the opposite end of the country, so that's quite a happy coincidence for me these days. I pretty much had nothing in common with most of my schoolmates. My interests were completely different. So, hey, school yearbook, if you have one, implies that, well, you actually had well, any kind of social relationship with your classmates. And, well, nerds really weren't cool back then, were they?
We're a unique brand at the time. That's true. We were a unique blend at
Mhm.
the time. So I can
Yes.
understand that.
Yes. On the bright side, it's paying off now, of course, because
Oh
you
yes.
you'll think this social isolation was awkward. You think you're going stir crazy. We were raised in it. We were born in it. We made it ours.
Yep. Here's something we've been training for the past 15 or 16 or 20 years, depending. We're already set for this.
Absolutely. Who's laughing now?
It's very true. Okay. What's your favourite band or song? What's your go-to to just put on and that's it? You're happy.
Depends on the mood, really.
Sure.
If I just want random stuff, I mean, I'll queue up a YouTube playlist. It's got a good idea of what I like now. So stuff I've been listening to recently, The Who have caught my attention. They did a track Suga Nasena for Jedi Fallen Order.
Yep.
I don't know if you played that.
I haven't played John Fall, but I have listened a little bit. I'm guessing it's a different Who to who I'm thinking though.
It's not the rock band though. The Who, as in the Who, HU.
Okay.
Are a basically Mongolian folk band.
Oh, hang on. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I know. Right, because there's one of the songs that basically the title is something about the strange, but it's translated obviously into Mongolian.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because
those guys, yes.
Yes.
So they've caught my attention. There's a Japanese group called Kalafina who are pretty good. They've got the track that first caught my eye was Kyrie, but you can go and listen to a lot of their stuff, and even if you don't understand Japanese, it's simple enough that you can have it in the background, but it's complex enough that it rewards closer listening.
So is that kind of stuff you'd hear on the back of anime and things like that?
They've done some, although I think you'd be hard pushed to find a major Japanese group that hasn't done an anime OP or ED track at some point.
True.
Given how ubiquitous that seems to be.
Yes.
Let's see for the rest. Miracle of Sound, Gav Dunn's production. He's had a few indifferents, but I've never heard a bad track from him.
I do like Miracle of Sound. Yeah, because I've actually got permission from Gav to play songs of his on my channel and everything like that. I actually went and asked him because I like his stuff as well.
Sweet.
The ones I particularly like for me are the Subnautica ones he did and the Firefly song that he did.
I will have to hunt those down. I haven't heard either of those in a while, so I'll give them a look.
Definitely recommend.
I mean, the ones that caught my eye were his Assassin's Creed one.
Yes.
And yeah, those I think are a high point. Ditto his Dark Souls tracks, particularly Fire's Fade.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are worth looking up.
Yep.
Beyond that, a lot of soundtrack stuff. So you're talking stuff like the Apex Legends soundtrack and the Fallen Order soundtrack. So Stephen Barton led on both of those. Gordy Harb was also Fallen Order. Two Steps from Hell, Thomas Bergenson. I think that's the name, Bergenson? Yeah, I think so. Fun, and of course, if you are saying, you know what, sod it, and you just want to grab a German battleship and blow off some steam in a secondary build, then there's nothing wrong with a bit of Rammstein, unless it's Kirek, in which case Sabaton is, I think, pretty much mandatory these days.
Well, they wrote the song after the ship, so...
Pretty much, yeah.
No, I can agree with some of those. I definitely can do. Miracle of Sound, like I said. I'm more into his kind of chilled, relaxed versions, though, that he's done. Yeah. They're quite cool. I like Fat Rat. I think the
Fat Rat.
Yeah, yes. The Fat Rat I think is pretty cool.
Monody was his first track I heard, and he's done a few others. Particularly when he teams up with Laura Brem. She does quite a good run of vocals for him. And beyond that, there's just the stuff that I was kind of growing up within my teenage, well, I won't say teenage years, that would be a complete lie, mid-20s would be more accurate. So stuff like Hybrid, Formula of Fear, Chicane. Admittedly, Chicane were a teenage thing because they were big when I was just finishing my exams. Let's see who else. Scooter, if you want something really loud. Yeah, I mean, I am not fussy. You show me some decently done music, I will probably give it a listen.
Yeah, I mean, the only things for me is I'm not keen on like proper dance style music. That kind of sounds too manufactured. To here's somebody with a keyboard on a PC who's kind of going click 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 click, and there's the tune. That doesn't really do it. And death metal, really heavy death metal. That doesn't really do it for me. But other than that,
yeah. I mean, if that's the case, then you, as I say, Chicane, I suppose, kind of typify what you would probably call manufactured, but definitely give Hybrid a listen. I'm not sure they've done anything recently, but again, if we're name checking, Formula of Fear is a good starting track with them.
Okay, I was always open to try new things. That's that's the case nowadays. Yay. So. What's your worst dad joke that's usable? Do you have one?
Okay. Worst jokes. You're talking to somebody who's seen Helsing abridged. Angles and Panzer abridged, and if I repeat any of that, we're both going to get banned so fast we won't know it even happened.
Yes.
But all right. What do you call a dog that can do magic?
What do you call a dog that? Go on. What do you call a dog that can do magic?
A Labrador.
Oh God! you have the honor. You have the honor of being the first. I think
you have a new flaw. I realise you're only 3 episodes in, and it's going to get worse from there. But I think you may have just set a new flaw for quality here.
Ladies and gentlemen, level 0 by Yuzral. We'll take that. And where can people find your content at? Where are you dotted around the social media world and everything?
Okay, so Twitter, Yuzral. Surprise. Twitch.tv/Yuzral is my main thing, and I do also maintain a Discord server. So I will send Freer a hopefully up-to-date invite, and we'll see how long it lasts before Discord mangles that.
Yes. Well, what we'll do is we'll put all the links in the description below for everybody. That's awesome. Well, Yuzral, thank you for taking that time out to tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Guys, I've been TC. That's been Yuzral. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see whose face appears next on here. Thanks, guys, and thank you, Yuzral.
You're welcome. Thank you, and bye.